it's fair to say the first 45 minutes have been another dominant display by Manchester City, and those stats there, they back that up. They're 3-0 up, and actually, Crouchy, the first goal that we saw from Erling Haaland was very similar to what you showed us at the touchscreen before, with him sitting between the central defender and the fullback.
Yeah, he just loves that position in between the fullback and the centre half. You know, you can see the whole picture in front of him. Then it was a great bit of movement from Alvarez as well. I have to mention that. But yeah, I mean, he's just getting silly now, isn't it? He's even his teammates look slightly embarrassed when he scores. But if we look at the movement here, it was obviously came down the right hand side. He's looking to get in that space between the centre half and the fullback. As I highlighted, Alvarez's movement just gives him that space, and obviously he's intelligent enough to be aware to just put the brakes on and finish fantastically well. Yeah,
the defender's done nothing wrong. He's had to track the run in front of him, but yeah, obviously Haaland's recognised that situation, and sometimes the best movement is standing still, and he's allowed the ball to come to him, and what a great finish.
You know what I love? He hits everything clean. He hits everything clean. Even with his right foot, he hits it clean. It's amazing. The reaction of the boys is great. Just
No. Well, actually, you mentioned reaction. If that first goal was about his positioning, the second goal was a quick reaction, was it not?
Well, we've been saying, you know, he's just always in the right place at the right time. You know, he just has a knack for it, doesn't he, Jolie?
Yeah.
He just has a feel.
I think we speak about comparisons and him and Messi. I don't think you compare the styles, but I don't think Pep would have worked with someone as instinctive as him.
This is, if you look, he's the only person going forward in that whole passage of play. There's no accident. You know, it looks like, oh, he's in the right place at the wrong time. So he's in the right place at the right time, but it's just... Oh. It's movement. He's the only one, as Jolie mentioned, the word instinct.
Instinct. And that you cannot teach. That's just
I think that's the thing. Because he's so young, I'm thinking he must have been born with that, because he developed a trait so dominant at such a young age is remarkable. And
that it didn't stop there, did it? Unfortunately for Copenhagen, the third was an own goal.
Yeah, I mean, they've had, it's tough for a young manager. It was like 34, first game, go to the Etihad. You got all these brilliant attacking players that dominate the ball.
He was behind him, though.
He was behind him.
Yeah,
he did win the deflection.
It would have been the hat-trick, wouldn't it?
Like, literally, he was there to tap it in. I actually thought it did come off him.
It's crazy. Gomez has done well, though.
Yeah, I mean, they've been so dominant, Manchester City. I think for the players and for the coach, you're just a bit fearful of what could happen. You're excited before the game, but you see the manager... you know, obviously it's not easy for him. You know, you have a game plan, and then the game plan goes out the window because you're 3-0 down.
Well, for those of you that like your stats, here's one. So Haaland has one more goal than Luis Suarez in the Champions League, but in 51 fewer games.
Yeah, I mean, it is ridiculous. It's slightly embarrassing. Like when we're talking about stats, he's just breaking every record time and time again. It's ridiculous.
He certainly is, and I'm not sure what we're going to see from him in the second half, but wasn't it, for Manchester City tonight? As Owen just said before, it's becoming routine. And yes, I can see the shocked look on all your faces. Just look at those stats, Owen.
Wow, 30 shots.
I know, incredible, isn't it?
Crazy. I mean, possession we're used to, but 30 shots, even for City, that seems a lot.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's players in there that obviously haven't played as much, are desperate to score. You could see it on Grealish's face. You could see it on Alvarez's face. They all want goals. But those stats are just ridiculous. It's what we expect, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because when you're saying that about Jack, I don't think he was forcing any issue.
No.
I don't think he was forcing shots when they weren't on.
He was actually like, kind of unselfish in some moments, wasn't he?
I think the decision-making of all the forward players was spot on. At any given time, they was taking opportunities when they were there, but they weren't forcing issues, so to get them numbers is crazy.
And we'll look at the goal shortly, but actually, what we didn't pick out in our pre-show, because there's so much to talk about, was that midfield. Gundogan impressed you once again, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I was so impressed with him in the Manchester derby. He played at the base of midfield. Everybody thought Rodri would be a huge miss.
They thought he could be a potential weakness in the team.
Well, he ran the game, Seema, and he's one of the smartest, most underrated players, I think, in the Premier League. Everybody loves him. He's the captain for a reason. And again today, I thought he put on a masterclass, and he makes the game, Julian, look so easy.
Yeah, I've heard Pep speak about him and his level of IQ, football IQ, is remarkable. And being able to play multiple positions and have a crazy impact. What, 2 seasons ago he was top goal scorer, and then he's played obviously as a defensive midfielder on Sunday and was remarkable as well.
Do you know what I want to get into? This conversation about Erling Haaland. Look, he bagged a brace, didn't he? And then he was subbed. just before the second half. So he was on course for a hat-trick. Crouchy, did that surprise you? Did that decision by Pep Guardiola surprise you?
Do you know what Jolien called it? He said he's coming off. We were disappointed, weren't we? We were like, you know, it's what we've come for. You know, we want to see Erling Haaland get another hat-trick, you know, do things that we've never seen before. But we have to say Cole Palmer came on for him and played fantastically well. You know, he was a joy to watch. But can't sit here and say I didn't want Erling Haaland to get a hat-trick.
Yeah, from a striker's point of view, you're talking about when that happened to you in regard.
I don't know if anyone had a bad game in a City shirt.
To be honest, Seema, even when they lose, I don't see City play poorly.
You
know, they get unlucky with a penalty, a red card, or a counter-attack. But City never play poorly. You know, rarely ever does that happen. So they're just they're special to watch. They really are. They play beautiful football. But now they're scoring 4s and 5s. It's quite scary for everyone.
How much confidence would it have given the likes of Riyad Mahrez that he did score today? Because they were awarded a penalty, he stepped up to the mark, and we know that he's not been in Pep's first 11 much this season, but he delivered when he was called upon.
Yeah, again, I don't think he would question himself. He's been a present for City, especially in this competition. Yeah, it was never a question of was it a penalty. I don't think VAR checked it, and I think he takes penalties if he's on the pitch, regardless of who else. So if Haaland's on there at this moment in time on 2, I think Riyad still takes it. So in regards to that, it would do him no harm at all to score a goal. But again, he's proven at this level.
He made that look quite easy, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he does. I mean, he's top goal scorer last season. You know, he's a top player. I love watching him. He's one of my favourite players to watch. Like snake hips, he can go past people with ease. He just hasn't managed to get in the side this season for whatever reason.
So, Crouchy, talk us through 5-0. This is Alvarez's goal. Likeable as well.
Oh, 100%. And again, we've seen it in his early parts of his career, especially for England. But just seeing him talk so openly and so freely, and like you said, playing and interviewing with a smile on his face. I know Jack personally, and to see him like that, he loves football more than most. So to see him performing the way he is, I'm pleased for him. And
it does feel like it's just a matter of time until the goals start coming for him.
Yeah, they'll come. I think he had some moments today where he probably could have shot, and I think he actually did the unselfish thing and he passed. So I think Pep will probably appreciate that. You know, I think the one thing I'd notice is he's doing things a tiny bit quicker. He's making his mind up a bit quicker. You know, he's pulling the trigger when he needs to. He's getting it, Crouchy mentioned, he's running centrally. Where sometimes when he runs out here, when he runs out wide, he's a bit limited. When he comes inside, the whole pitch opens up. He can play 1-2s, he's great at it. And I think his whole game looks like when he was cruising at Villa, Crouchy.
Yeah, because when he goes into those central areas, you can't touch him. Like out wide and deep, people like to foul him and bring him down, you get him off the ball, but as soon as he runs into those central areas, you can't touch him. People are, you know, attracted to him, and that's when he can slip players in real dangerous positions. So I just feel like if he can pick it up more centrally, he can definitely get himself on the score sheet and more assists. And it's obvious that he talked about his numbers there. He was worried about the stat with the assist. You know, he's obviously playing on his mind. But if he continues to play the way he is, that will come. And
surely it's good news for England seeing him play like this.
Yeah, of course. Listen, England don't struggle in them wide areas. They've got a talent in abundance. But for Jack personally, obviously he's going to judge himself on his numbers, which most players do. But his impact overall and his decision making was exceptional tonight.
OK, let's head straight back to City and hear from Riyad Mahrez speaking to Matt Smith.
Riyad, what's that kind of game like to play in?
No, it's good. It's always good to play Champions League games, you know. It was not easy at the start. We made it easy by scoring early on, and I think we controlled the game really well.
Yeah, I mean, for a forward player like you that likes to touch the ball, likes to create, likes to find space, it's like a training session, no?
No, I'm not going to say this, but it's good when we have the ball and we're on the opposite side. The opposite box of the opponent, so we play and we try to create chances like we always do, you know. And the score is deserved, and I think it's good for the next game. Yeah.
Nice to get a goal.
Yeah, nice to get a goal, nice to score goals and to help the team to win. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition in your part of the pitch, isn't there? There's a lot of good players.
Yeah, of course, always been. I'm here 5 years. Maybe it was more competition before than now, but it's good.